What if I told you there's a platform out there where you can access hundreds of thousands of wholesale products in the beauty and cosmetic niche, all in one place? You can literally search them right now, see live pricing, and check which ones will work in your Amazon business. Sounds too good to be true, right? Let me show you. Now, straight away, you can see a huge range of products, real-time pricing, and even a full range of stock data. Already, I've searched Maybelline, and in here, you can see lots of different products with all their barcodes and everything else. And so what you can do is go straight into the product. So you can see the name of the product, the barcode, a picture of the product, all the suppliers, their unit price they're selling it for, the minimum order value for that supplier, not just the product, and how much stock they've got. You can add it into the basket. Now, the other thing that I really like as well is when you scroll down, after all suppliers, you even have this graph, which tells you all about the price history from the suppliers over time. So you can see whether you're getting a good price or maybe this has been a higher price than it has been in the past. Now, before I tell you the name of the platform, there is something even more important that I want you to understand. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you how you can not only buy these products, but you can actually get them effectively for free. And I'll explain how that worked at the end of the video. So who are they? Their name is called Cogita. Cogita aren't your typical wholesaler. They're what's called a marketplace facilitator, a company that basically aggregates all of the data from hundreds, if not thousands, of wholesalers and distributors across Europe. I've dropped a link in the description down below, so do check that out. The one thing I really liked about Cogita as a platform is how much control you have over them when you're searching. You can filter by brands, as you can see here. They've got a large selection of brands on their catalog. On top of that, you can also filter by types of products that you're looking for, or even then once you get into that, you can actually start seeing the individual products themselves and understanding how the bulk discounts work. So for example, right here, here's a product I found earlier on. And what's really easy is you can see if you're willing to spend 28,000, which is obviously a lot of money, you can get it for £20 and 65 pence. But just if you're willing to spend 2,000 on that supplier, you can get it for 21.97. And so really what they do is the more you buy, the bigger the discount you're going to get. And they do that for all of their suppliers, which is amazing because obviously if you're willing to spend more money, you're going to get cheaper and cheaper products, which is great. Now, the thing I do really like is, again, these mini keeper charts, just understanding what the price of the products has been a complete game changer. And so, for example, if you're buying lots of products where you're just watching this price and seeing when it drops down and buying at a historically low price, you can bag some great bargains. Being wholesalers, the one thing you do really want is price lists, and that's ridiculously easy to get. Let me show you. Now, all you got to do is just come up to your name and you got to click on catalog. Really, really simple. And then right here, what they're going to do is just email it to you. Now, the great thing here is not only do they send you the catalog, but if you're a bit more tech savvy, you can actually get an API access, which is really incredibly useful if you know what you're doing. There's about 100,000 products in this catalog. You've got to make sure you've got some scanning software, and I'll talk about that later on. This is wholesale sourcing done efficiently. No gatekeeping, no cold outreach, just data at scale ready for you to use. Coming back to here, you can see obviously we can buy this for 2065 or 2109 or 2197. Now, what you can do is obviously grab that barcode and load that up into Amazon. And I've already done that right here. So this is the product. Now, the one thing you've just got to be aware of and be mindful is that the prices on here do not include VAT. So you've got to add that in. So for example, here, if we're going to buy this at 21.97, we want to come across to our Amazon and we want to do 21.97 times by the rate of VAT. So that'd be 1.2. And obviously that's now going to give us our profitability for that product. So for us, when we're doing that analysis, just make sure you're adding VAT onto those prices. Now, another example here, you can see this product right now has actually got a number of other offers. So you've got this supplier right here, this supplier right here, this supplier, and these two suppliers as well. And they're all doing different offers. You can see their stock levels and the pricing they're offering. That's something to be really mindful of. Just keeping an eye out, obviously trying to buy from the same suppliers or buying enough stock to meet the minimum order value. Again, we are doing wholesale. This is something we've got to think about. Now, the one thing I will add when ordering with Cogita, the one thing you're aware of is it's exactly like ordering from any other wholesaler. You still have to do your due diligence. You have to check the products. You've got to make sure that they are exactly what you specified, that they haven't come damaged. And if there's any problems at all, obviously you can deal with Cogita and they will deal with it with the manufacturer or the wholesaler or distributor and get you those refunds or replacement. It's going to help you out. But just remember, we're doing trade. We've got to check the actual products are the products we ordered. Sometimes mistakes do happen. That's a really important part. Treat them like any other large supplier. Check your stock, verify your deliveries, and you're going to be fine. Now, I did say I was going to tell you how you can effectively buy these products for free. But before I do, let me tell you a quick story. Now, a few weeks ago, I had a conversation with a guy who runs a financing company. He used to work for one of the big lenders, and then he left to set up on his own. Now, to give you an idea, his minimum client size was around $500,000 per month in sales. So yeah, we weren't quite big enough. But the conversation was really worth it because he said something that really stuck with me. If you want to grow an Amazon business properly, this is what all the big sellers are doing, you need something called negative debt equity cycle. Now, here's how it works in simple terms. You buy a product today, you prep it, you ship it into Amazon, you sell it, and then you get paid about 14 days later. Now, that whole process takes time. For us right now, it's about 54 days on average. Plus Amazon's payout delay, that's 14 days. Let's call it 68 days in total, for example. If I can get that cycle down to maybe 60 days and I can get my supplier to give me 60, maybe even 90 days worth of credit, then I can effectively buy that product and then ship it into Amazon and get it sold without actually using any of my money. I can use a supplier credit to buy the stock and get the stock sold and get my payout from Amazon and to pay back the supplier. Now, that's what's called negative debt equity. And your inventory turns faster than your credit terms. And so you're basically using other people's money to make profit. Now, this is how big businesses grow, not with hustle, but with cash flow leverage. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because this is exactly what I love about Cogita. They give you access to credit lines right inside the platform. It starts small, but it does grow as you build trust. And every time you check out, you can choose to use financing. Now, it even tells you the exact cost. So, for example, right here, if I want to buy it over 30 days, I'm not going to pay anything. So I can get 30 days free credit for nothing. Over 60 days, I'm going to be paying 2.9, and over 90 days, I'm going to be paying 4.5%. Now, the way to think about this is if you're buying a product with maybe 90 days credit, that 4.5% financing is going to be a hit on your ROI of 4.5%. So say, for example, you're buying a 40% ROI product, you're now going to be making 36.5 after the cost of that lending that you've taken, the supplier credit, and then the rest of it is your money. That's what's so powerful. You can now reinvest your own cash into more products and you can run multiple purchase cycles at once, scaling using other people's money. When you combine good products with smart credit, you can build a business that grows without draining your cash. Now, the information I've just shared with you makes finding profitable products a whole lot easier. And if you've been struggling to find profitable wholesale deals, this route could be the game changer you've been looking for. The one problem you are going to face is you're going to have so many products to analyze, you're going to need to figure out how to analyze them quickly. That's why I'm going to share around here a video about how to analyze wholesale supplier lists quickly. So check that video and you can use it with Cogita right now to find the profitable deals that work for your business. Now, if you like this, make sure you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you want more videos like this to help grow your Amazon business. Thank you very much.